Good evening, you're watching Vancouver's News live at 6. I'm Paul Meunier. Tonight, government backtrack. After a backlash, recreational campsites will stay in place for the summer. Now, where mudslides are threatening a community and one of this province's most important rivers. Ethan Faber takes us to the slippery slopes of the Chilliwack River.
The Chilliwack River is as beautiful as it is dangerous.
And as this undermines down there, this is going to go.
The clay banks that run up from the river are eroding fast.
As you can see, we've got the river hitting right into the bank, and the bank keeps eroding.
The residents here have seen what the river can do. In January of '97, a huge slide almost plugged the river completely.
And that would create a head of water behind like a large dam, and if that let go, it could wipe out all the Slushy Park and infrastructure, the highways, everything all the way down.
People aren't the only ones at risk here. This is BC's most popular sport fishing river, and mud is deadly spawning salmon.
They get their gills plugged up, and also the gravel where they spawn gets layered with clay.
What really bugs some people around here is the fact that the province owns the land where the slides are happening. And they say it's time Victoria took responsibility.
And I just really plead to the provincial government to get on board and help these residents up here and help the fishermen.
But even with heavy rain falling, the government says the slide risk here is low.
These slides will get worse unless they're fixed.
When we get another winter with a high runoff of water, rain, disaster could strike again.
Chilliwack residents have gathered over 1,200 names on a petition calling for stabilization measures. But the government says it has no plans to do any work here. On the crumbling shores of the Chilliwack River, Ethan Faber, Vancouver Television.
The Environment Ministry has worked to stabilize some slides in the area, but for now, the government says periodic visual inspections are the only safety measures necessary. A 60
in British Columbia, it threatens farmland, rivers, and residential areas. One of the biggest concerns involves the cliffs on the Chilliwack River. As Ethan Faber reports, local volunteers are trying an experimental solution.
On the edge of the Chilliwack River, they're bringing out the heavy artillery. Daryl Jansen is using a high-pressure tanker truck to spray a strange mixture onto the crumbling clay banks.
You've got grass seed and fertilizer and whatnot in it, and it'll form a mat on top of the soil to virtually eliminate surface erosion.
The erosion and the mud that goes with it is a major threat to some of the province's most important salmon habitat. In 1997, these cliffs collapsed and almost blocked the river completely. The grass spray is just part of a cutting-edge idea called bioengineering.
The willow whips really like that soft ground. They really like that water. Oops.
CJ Muscle is the project manager. He's planting hundreds of trees in the muck.
There you go. What we're hoping to do is, over time, these will start to grow and revegetate the slide and start to stabilize and filter out some of the sediment that's filtering off the slope.
You can see the early effects of the soil stabilization right here at this culvert. The water running down from the clay banks used to be dark brown. It's already beginning to run clear.
We've had a lot of support from anglers saying they've already noticed a difference in the clarity of the river, and after a rainstorm it clears up a lot quicker than it had in the past.
Some of the funding for the project comes from the provincial government, CAN4 and BC Hydro. But the core supporters are volunteers who've been demanding action for years. When the work's done here, they'll focus on other cliffs in the area.
It's important. Everyone in the community said something had to be done.
Engineers expect the plants to take firm root over the summer. They're optimistic, but the big test will come with heavy rains in the fall. One thing is certain, the Chilliwack River is getting cleaner every day. Ethan Faber, VTV News.